Hey there, welcome to ShareTrack. This is Raj here, friends. If you follow gene therapy breakthroughs, you're probably used to hearing about chronic injections, lifelong patient burden, and blockbuster drugs like Eylea. But today, we are talking about something very different. A one-time gene therapy designed not for rare diseases, but for the millions facing wet, age-related macular degenerations. Wet AMD is the wet form of age-related macular degeneration that is the leading cause of irreversible central vision loss in people over 50, where abnormal leaky blood vessels grow under the retina and scar the macula. A subretinal injection that could replace endless anti-VEGF shots with sustained VEGF inhibition for years is in the works. And if it works at scale, it could disrupt a $15 to $20 billion global market. I'm talking about ABBV-RGX-314 from AbbVie and REGENXBIO. The question is, why does this matter? Well, most gene therapy stories are about once and done cures for ultra rare conditions, small patient pools, very high price tags. ABBV-RGX-314 is about ophthalmology's cash cows. This is where gene therapy stops being boutique and starts challenging repeat dose blockbusters. Today, wet AMD treatment means frequent intravitreal injections, Eylea for every 8 to 12 weeks, Vabysmo on a similar schedule, Lucentis as a long-standing standard. Patients struggle with the burden. Dropout rates rise every time missed injections often mean vision loss returns. The idea behind ABBV-RGX-314 is simple yet powerful. What if one gene therapy dose could express its own anti-VEGF protein inside the eye for years, replacing those injections without repeat needles? But before we dive into the trials, it's important to be clear where ABBV-RGX-314 stands today. This therapy is investigational only. No FDA approval, no EMA approval, no commercial availability. ABBV-RGX-314 is currently in late-stage pivotal development. AbbVie and REGENXBIO are running two large registrational trials. The first one is ATMOSPHERE, comparing ABBV-RGX-314 to Eylea, and the second is ASCENT, ASCENT, comparing ABBV-RGX-314 to Lucentis. Both trials use subretinal delivery and randomized and controlled and have enrolled more than 400 patients each. The goal is to demonstrate non-inferior visual outcomes with dramatic reduction in treatment burden. Top-line data from these pivotal studies is now expected in late 2026, specifically Q4 2026. Based on completed enrollment timelines and required one-year efficacy assessments, I think if successful, BLA filing would likely follow in 2027, with a potential commercial launch in 2028, assuming approval. They are also advancing a suprachoroidal delivery approach for diabetic retinopathy, which could allow in-office dosing without vitrectomy, but wet AMD remains the lead indication. Now let's look into the pivotal trials. ATMOSPHERE and ASCENT are the backbone of registration strategy. Patients already receiving anti-VEGF therapy are randomized to receive either ABBV-RGX-314 or standard of care injections. Primary and key secondary endpoints include best corrected visual acuity, central retinal thickness, and most importantly for payers, the number of rescue anti-VEGF injections required after dosing. The core question is not, does it inhibit VEGF? It is this: can it maintain vision as well as Eylea or Lucentis while dramatically reducing treatment frequency? That's what determines real-world adoption for this drug. Earlier phase 1/2 data showed sustained anti-VEGF expression, durability extending beyond 3 years, and roughly 80 to 90% of patients requiring few or no additional injections. Phase 3 must now confirm that durability against gold standard active comparators. How ABBV-RGX-314 works is that at a technical level, ABBV-RGX-314 is an AAV8-based gene therapy using REGENXBIO's NAV platform. The vector delivers a gene encoding a broad anti-VEGF antibody fragment. It's delivered subretinally using virectomy surgery, where retinal cells begin producing the protein locally. That continuous VEGF suppression prevents abnormal vessel growth, leakage, and fluid buildup, all of which destroys central vision in wet AMD. From an investor perspective, the key takeaway is durability. One dose, many years of effect, and AbbVie's scale paired with REGENXBIO's AAV expertise, I think it's a good bet. Now let's talk about market opportunity. Wet AMD alone represents a 15 to 20 billion annual market. The key drivers include aging populations, lifelong therapy requirement, injection costs often exceeding $2,000 per dose. A one-time gene therapy priced in hundreds of thousands could still be economically attractive if it meaningfully reduces lifetime treatment costs and inconvenience. Even modest market penetration will translate into multi-billion-dollar peak sales potential. Expansion into diabetic retinopathy adds another large revenue lever. Now let's take a look at the competitive landscape. ABBV-RGX-314 is not alone. Competition includes Roche's Susvimo port delivery system, which faced a recall recently, highlighting delivery challenges. Advarium's Ixo-vec and intravitreal gene therapy, now in phase 3. Intravitreal means delivering a gene therapy directly into the vitreous humor, the clear gel that fills the center of the eye, using a standard intravitreal injection. Then there is 4D-150, which is a gene therapy candidate developed by 4D Molecular Therapeutics, or 4DMT, that is designed to deliver sustained anti-VEGF activity via a single intravitreal injection. It uses 4DMT's proprietary R100 vector to introduce a dual transgene payload that expresses therapeutic proteins targeting VEGF pathways directly inside the eye. Incumbents like Eylea HD and Vabysmo pushing longer dosage intervals. ABBV-RGX-314's main trade-off is durability versus delivery complexity. Subretinal surgery offers high expression, but intravitreal competitors may have adoption advantages if durability holds up. No gene therapy has yet achieved full approval in wet AMD, which makes this a first mover opportunity and also a first mover risk participant. Now let's look at investor risk reward framework. On the upside, we have validated mechanism because the phase 1/2 trials have already shown us that the mechanism works. Multi-year durability has also been demonstrated. AbbVie's financial and regulatory muscle is significant, and massive unmet need by injection fatigue. Like, people get tired of going regularly for injections to the eye. So once and done procedure, which will take care of it for a long time, instead of one injection every 8 weeks, is always more palatable. Those are all the positive drivers. Now let us look at the risk. Phase 3 must match vision outcomes versus best-in-class drugs that are currently in use. Surgical delivery limits scalability because it needs prep work and eligibility of candidates and so on and so forth. Payer resistance to high upfront pricing is also another thing that we have to look at. Binary late 2026 data risk is there, because if at the end of 2026 it fails, then it's going to be really bad. But if it succeeds, it's going to be super. That's the binary risk that we are talking about, and that risk lasts until late 2026 when we'll have FDA results. The single most important catalyst is now clear. Q4 2026 pivotal top-line data from ATMOSPHERE and ASCENT. That's what we are looking for. Positive data moves this towards filing, negative data forces a reset. AbbVie absorbs the blow, REGENXBIO stock does not. So how to think about it as a retail investor? Well, this is a pivotal execution story, not just a science story. It's a bet that one-time dosing can finally disrupt chronic retinal injections. ABBV offers diversified exposure, RGNX offers leverage. But This is speculative biotech with a defined binary window in late 2026. Position sizing continues to matter. As always, this is not investment advice. This is just my personal opinion based on what I've been able to gather from my research. Do your own research on these two stocks, know your risk tolerance, and understand the timeline. I just wanted to bring this to your attention that in 2026, this could be a potential catalyst play where a stock price can suddenly go up based on a FDA news at the end of 2026, or equally, a stock price could fall drastically. With AbbVie, you have a better control over the downside risk because it's a strong company, but its partner may not be that strong. So if you found this breakdown helpful, hit the like and also subscribe if you haven't done so, and let me know in the comments which gene therapy or ophthalmology names you want covered next. And friends, I urge you to check out our free Substack. You'll find a detailed Substack article on this video in the Substack, which you can read at your leisure. I'll catch up with you in the next video. Join the Shattuck family, where we're trying to build a community of retail investors in order to crowdsource investment ideas and market themes. I'll catch up with you again in the next video. Bye for now.